Kia ora whānau, let's talk about God. If you already believe in a creator, supreme being, or whatever you want to call it, then keep on listening. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. Just treat this as an interesting thought experiment. To quote Aristotle, it is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Okay, let's begin. There are two main reasons we interact with a person that we don't already know. The first way is what we'll call a transactional interaction. This is when you interact with a stranger because they have something that you need. For example, when I was in Los Angeles airport, I needed a coffee. I didn't want to go to Starbucks, but because I had no other option, I went and talked to the barista and got myself a coffee. My only interest in interacting with Starbucks was to get something that I needed. I do not want any sort of continued relationship with Starbucks. This kind of interaction is purely transactionally driven. The second way we interact with a person is what we'll call a relational interaction. This is when you interact with someone simply because you want to get to know them. For example, when I met my friend Michael Jenkins, I introduced myself and started chatting to him. Not because he could give me anything, but because he seemed like a legend and I simply wanted to get to know him more. This kind of interaction is purely relationally driven. Now, how on earth does this all relate to God? Here, we'll use a very basic definition of God. Simply, the higher power which created the universe. Most people in the world would agree that there is some sort of higher power. The disagreement comes in what the nature of that higher power is. Now, whatever this power is, it is powerful enough to create everything in existence, including you and me. Meaning that if this power wants something, it is more than capable of doing it on its own without the need for anything or anyone else to help it. Here's where things get interesting though. This higher power seems to want to interact with humans. A lot of us have experienced a time where something has happened that we just can't explain, that seemed to be more than just a coincidence. And we would usually say that some sort of higher power or the universe has stepped in and personally intervened in our lives. But why would it interact with us? Enter the two types of interactions. It is unlikely that this higher power is interacting with us because we have something that only we personally can provide it. Or to put it another way, this higher power could do anything easier, quicker, and better than anything I could ever do for it. This must mean that any interaction from this higher power with us must be relationally driven. Because this higher power is interacting with us, and because we have nothing that we could offer it, this higher power must be interacting with us because it wants to build a relationship with us that is not transactionally motivated, but relationally motivated. So, if this higher power is interested in building a relationship with us, it would follow that it would make itself known to humanity in some way. Or, to put it another way, you can't build a relationship with someone by ghosting them. Christianity is built on the premise that God has revealed himself, and that he did this by entering into the creation he made to make a way for his creation, humanity, to have a restored relationship with him. John 3:16 says, "For this is how God loved the world, that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever would believe in him shall not perish, but have eternal life." And then later, in John 17 verse 3, Jesus defines what eternal life is. Now this is eternal life, that they know you, the only true God, and the one whom you sent, Jesus Christ. Now this is all a nice story, but Jesus claimed to be the only true way to know God, and then proved that what he said was true by rising again from the dead on the third day. I've linked a video from a non-Christian YouTube channel called The Infographics Show if you want more information about the evidence for this claim. To sum it all up, we can tell that this higher power, the creator of the universe, wants to have a relationship with us, evidenced by the fact that it interacts with us. Therefore, it would make sense that the creator has provided a way for us to respond to its desire to have relationship with us. Jesus is this way. But if you're not there yet, this is my encouragement to you. If you feel like this higher power has interacted with you, respond. Ask this being, this higher power, to reveal its nature to you. As it says in the Bible, seek and you shall find. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to DM me and I'll respond. God bless.